Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I wanted to show you, this is the final outcome for thing 4. um, I did thing 2, which was make the bat, and then thing 4 was spinning it and plying it and getting it to be yarn. Let's see if we can get it to focus on it. Come on. There we go. So there's thing 4. It's 42 yards of a 2-ply that I plied from a center pull ball, and it's just scrap yarn. That's what I'm calling it. It's made out of scraps of all kinds of stuff. Most of it's wool. There's silk. I was trying to think if there's anything besides wool and silk in here. Probably not. It's probably all wool and some silk. But there is a tiny little bit of Angelina in here. Just a little bit. Anyway, there's what it looks like. And I did want to talk to you a little bit about why thing 2 and thing 4 were separate. And because it's real easy to think, well, you made that bat to make that yarn, so therefore that's one thing. And that's true. But when you can buy fiber that all you have to do is spin, and that's one thing, then preparing the fiber to me is a separate thing. It has its own separate joy, its own separate pitfalls. And so when I made the bat, I called that, one of my 100 things, and then spinning the yarn was another one of my 100 things, because they are separate things, even though they end up being one project. If you take it too far, saying that you made the bat to spin the yarn, therefore it's only one thing, well, then you have to say, okay, what was the yarn made for? Okay, well, the yarn was made to crochet a hat. So really, the hat is the thing. You see what I'm saying? And the hat is another thing. And so, so I just wanted to point out because number 4 was also number 2. This was one of I don't know if I called it 5, 6, or 7, but this was the little, those little bitty bird's nests that I had wrapped up when I was showing y'all things 5, 6, and 7. And I don't remember which number this was, but I had dyed that fiber, and that was that number. Spinning it makes it thing 8 to me, because it's a whole nother thing. Now it's yarn instead of dyed fiber. So this is very squishy and soft, and I love it. And this is a merino silk bat. It's 80% merino wool and 20% silk. And there's 516 wraps around my niddy noddy, and my niddy noddy makes about 4 inches longer, so it's about 516 meters rather than 516 yards. But anyways, I'm just saying 516 yards plus in this skein of yarn. So this is my thing 8. And but I just wanted to show you the finished product of thing 4 as well. And I'm going to make thing 9 right now, which is a journal. And I'm going to use this journal to keep notes and samples of the homespun yarn that I'm spinning. And so I've got these little cards. I thought they were 1 inch, but they're just slightly smaller than 1 inch from here to here. My plan was to do a wraps per inch card on each page. And I think you can still do that. Unless it's a heavy yarn, I'm just going to add 1 extra wrap. And when you're doing wraps per inch, you just snug them up next to each other. But even if it's not accurate as wraps per inch, it will be a sample of the yarn that I can have on the page. So I'm going to do one of these for each of the yarns that I spin. and put it on the page. And this is, I'm just starting with the things I've started doing since I got my electric spinner. The things that I had already done on my spinning wheel, I may do a separate book for, but I didn't always keep up with what kind of fiber they were or where I got it or any of that stuff on those. So I'm just going to start from now and do that. But this is the book cover that I want to use to make my journal, and I think it has a really pretty inside, so I'm going to try to not damage the inside any more than I have to. I'm just going to strengthen it with some Tyvek because the spine is really trying to come off. And then I'll cover the Tyvek with some fabric. And it's funny because I love this book and how old it looks, but then the fabric I got out was this. This is some of the stuff that when Tanya and I were painting fabric, this is some of the fabric we painted. And the reason I got this out was because I thought it would look pretty with this yarn if I use this yarn to tie in my signatures. And it looks pretty with the cover. So it all looks good together, but the more I go, the further away from the old world style I'm getting. But I'm okay with that. I am Lisa, my eclectic life, after all, not Lisa, my vintage life. So we're just going to go with that. But we're going to start with the Tyvek. And these are the papers I'm planning to put inside because I am going to be writing notes and stuff on this. I don't usually write in journals, but this one I'm going to. So first thing I'm going to do is put down glue on the Tyvek, and then I'm going to put it on the book. Now I'm going further than the length of the book, but that's okay because I'm going to double it up. I just wanted to make sure I got the edges covered good on the outside. And probably since I'm putting the fabric over it, it really isn't that important, even for the outside of the book, but we're going to do it anyway. And I'm going to try to get this straight. I'm not very good with straight, but we're going to try. Okay. Let me get a foam folder and work on this a little bit. Okay. I'm going to call that good for the outside. And then we're going to do the inside. And y'all have seen me make journals, and I always do them in a similar fashion. So this is not going to be anything really new. But, of course, I watch people do things that aren't anything new all the time and enjoy it. So I'm hoping you will enjoy this too. Okay, let's... And now we're going to do this. Let's make sure it, yeah, okay. I want it to overlap, but I didn't want it to be so long that it sticks out again at the top. I didn't think it was because I kind of measured it before I cut it, but you just never know. Sometimes I make mistakes. So better to check before I glue it down. Okay, I didn't do a very good job of either cutting this or gluing it down straight, but it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna call it good. What did I do? There it is. Okay. So there's our protected journal. And I definitely didn't get this straight, but we're going to not worry about it. It goes like this. This side's a little straighter. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Okay, let me add a little glue in here. Okay. All right, I'm going to let this just sit for a little while, and we're going to make papers before I try to put the fabric. Well, actually, I probably ought to go ahead and put the fabric on it so that can sit glued. Because otherwise I will end up, I want the glue to have a chance to dry before I bind in my signatures. So, okay. I'm trying to decide what I want, what I think will look good. It might be good to go like this, so you've got more colors in it. So let's try that. Okay, I'm going to start right there. Okay. And I'm going to let it go be a little wider than the, so maybe I can get this straight. Okay. I'm going to need some more for inside. I forgot about that. I almost put that aside. I want the torn edge. Okay, so let's do another strip. Okay, there's my inside strip. There we go. I was trying to remember where I put the other piece. Okay. Now then, this one's going to fold over. Try to decide where I want. Okay, I think I'm going to do it from here. So let's fold it like that. And then Okay, we'll put that piece inside, and that's where we're gonna be covering this up anyway. Even though it's a lot brighter than the other stuff, it won't matter. Okay, now I need to decide, do I want the blue at the front, or do I want this yellowy stuff at the front? I think I want the blue. I want the blue at the front. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna mark. Let's see how wide this is. 4.5 inches. 4.5 inches. So that's exactly where I want it. Let's see up here. Yeah. Okay. I just didn't trust my eye, but my eye was pretty good. My eye was pretty good. Okay. Now then, this is very thick canvas. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the art glitter glue. Let's take that piece of string off. Okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there. And then I'm going to and now we're going to do this one down here. Okay, there's my outside cover. I like it. I'll probably do something else to decorate it, but for now, this is what I'm doing. Okay. Take that string off. One problem about doing the Tyvek and the fabric, and this is canvas, so it's heavy duty. It makes a great cover. It's very sturdy, but it's not very easy to poke holes through. So I'm probably going to end up using my Big Bite to poke my holes, because I just think that'll work better. All right, we're just going to let this sit. And then we will come back and, oh, first I need to measure my pages, or at least what's the biggest size page I could have. Let's do that. Okay. There. And okay. Let's put the glue up. Now then, I'm going to put that aside. Well, let's make sure that we're right first. Where did I put my paper cutter? Oh. Okay. Okay. Now then, we're going to put this right in there. I think that's a good size. So I don't want them to be bigger than that. They can be smaller, but not bigger. And of course, I got to keep my scraps. Okay, let's see. I have some of these out of a small, well, I guess it's actually a medium-sized composition book. So I'm going to, that one might have too much of a pattern on it. I think I'll save that one for something else. And I'm going to do 4 signatures. So there's just 3 of those. No, I need this one because I want one that's not blue in each signature. And then I'll put, I'm going to put a blue one in each signature too, so that there's 2 of those kinds of papers in here in each signature. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest of these I can put up. I just grabbed a bunch of, oh, let's get one that's not wrinkled yet. Okay. Well, this is already turning into a long video. Maybe I need to find my papers and then come back and show you what I chose. I don't know. I like to see what people are choosing and why they chose them. So I'm just going to go ahead. You can speed through it. You can just shut the volume off and speed through it if you want to. Okay. So I've got this, and I need 3 more of these. So let's, here's 4 of those. And I'm just going to put this one on here and cut it. Okay, come on. Okay. So there's one. There's no reason why a journal that you're taking notes in can't be pretty. So, that paper was crooked when I cut it, so it's crooked folded. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Kind of a basket weave. That's the tray I was drying my papers in has that. It's a plastic tray with that kind of embossed into it. So that's fun. Okay. So that's 3 pages per signature. And I'm going to put in one of these. This is some 100% cotton, some kind of stationery paper. But I'm just wanting some different kinds of papers. I at first thought I would do all lined paper, but then I decided that'd be kind of boring. And it's okay if I don't. It's okay if I don't write straight, right? Three. Let's do one more of those. Okay, let's put that one aside. Let's make sure. I think that one actually is the perfect width. Well, it's a tiny bit wider than those others, but I'm going to leave it because I think it'll be okay. And then I've got some of these that I want to put in there, but I do want to cut them down to the right size. Nope, 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 not that one. Not that one. This one. No. To get my papers to flatten out. Okay. I'm going to just do them on that line. Or right actually above it a little bit. Okay. This is some yellow ledger paper that I avocado dyed. So I like that. I haven't really thought about how many pages altogether I'm going to put in here. I did think about how much extra, thickness this is going to add, but I figured if I put them in different places on the pages, then they'll kind of even out and it won't be so bad. That's my thought. We'll see if it works out. It'll be fun kind of changing them up anyway. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages per signature right now. So that's 20 pages per signature and 4 signatures. So that's like 80 pages in my book right now. So that's 80 different skeins of yarn that I can put in the book, even if I just leave it right here. So I think I have room to add a little bit more. All right, let's get one of these papers out to measure by. And I think I only have 3 of those. Let's see how much is going to need to be cut. Just needs to be trimmed off a little bit at the top. Okay, I am going to pause the video and see if I can find one more of these kinds of papers. I'll be right back. Okay, here's another one. And I'm going to trim these a little bit. Oh, let's see. Let me find the book and see how much it needs to be trimmed. Actually, I don't think I'm going to worry about trimming them. I'm just going to leave them like that because they fit in there. Yeah. Yep. Okay. So there's now 6 pages per signature. And then I've got these papers here that are also avocado dyed. And I want the lines to go the right direction. So I'm going to, I guess I better fold them one at a time to make it. Even though I'm gonna have to cut them up. I do want them to be, start out relatively straight. Around here, that's the best we can ask for, is relatively straight. Okay. There's 4 of those. And let's see how much. Okay. Put those papers up there. Okay, so now we have 4 of these, and I think I want, see if I can find some blue ones just like this. This is just big composition notebook paper, and if I can, I'm going to make 4 of those. So let me go look real quick. These didn't take the die quite as good, the butterfly pea die, quite as good as they took the avocado die, but it'll be good. It'll be good. I'm going to cut off all the pretty part on that one. It's all right. Okay. Now we're going to keep one of these, and we'll use it to trim here. Okay. Oops. Just threw that one on the floor. Okay. Oh, good. Luckily it landed where I can actually reach it. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes they end up on the floor and I'm like, well, that's going to have to wait till tomorrow. That's going to have to wait till I can get somebody to come out here and fish it for me. Okay. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages for 4 signatures. Hold on just one sec. Okay, I was thinking I wanted to find another kind of paper to go in here, but I've changed my mind because 8 times 4 is 32, and 32 times 4 is 128, and that's a lot of pages. That's a lot of skeins of yarn. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here. It's, you know, it's fun to just keep going, and we tend to like to put in as many as we can so that because we want to, you know, get as much goodness in one book as we can, but that's not really necessary. It's more important to make it usable. So I think this is going to be a nice book. Got more avocado dyed papers than anything else, but that's all right. I like avocado dyed papers. Okay. I am going to use the coffee dyed paper as my outside paper, and I don't think it's I'm going to use this paper as the center paper because it's it's pretty sturdy paper, and I always want the center of my signatures to be pretty sturdy paper. So, okay, so this is what the signatures are going to look like. Let's see how that's, well, let's go ahead and build. I'm going to build the other 3, and then I'll come back because this is getting to be a long video. Okay, I put the signatures in here just so we can see if they fit, and they do fit. They are close top and bottom, but that's okay. As long as they don't stick out, I'm happy with that. And so next, I'm going to bind it in here, and but the first thing I have to do is, measure and make sure I get my holes in the right spot. Let's see how wide the binding is. I'm going to say 1.5 inches. Odd numbered signatures are always easier for me to figure out where to put than even numbered ones. Because you put one in the middle and one on each side, or however many on each side. That's always easier. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is draw my my center line. Okay. And now then I'm going to draw a line. I'm just going to use a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So I'm going to draw a line at 2.5. 2.5. No, 2.5. Okay. Okay. Now then I need to draw 4 lines. Let's see. I think I like where this one is to be my okay, there's one. And then we're going to draw this one here. Let's see if that looks centered to me. It's good enough. Okay. Okay. So where these lines cross, that's where I'm going to poke my holes. And I know if you're a perfectionist, these lines on here with a pen probably are making you cringe right now. But I don't think anybody's going to be seeing them because my pages are going to be tidying right there. So I'm not fretting about it. Be right back. Let me go get my big bite. Okay, I've got my big bite set on 1/8 of an inch. That's the small hole. And that's what we're going to do. And I always move them around because sometimes it doesn't cut all the way through. I'll have to come back and try to trim that a little bit, but we're just going to poke them for now and not worry about it. Okay, you've seen how I did those 2 holes. I'm going to pause and do the rest of the holes, and then I'll be back. Okay, I got all my holes in there, and I'm going to use this yarn that I spun. This was the leftovers from another skein, and so I just spun it up by itself. When you're spinning from 2 bobbins and then one of the bobbins gets empty and the other one doesn't, you just got yarn left, and I had a lot left. So this was my first try at chain plying, and not sure how good it came out, but anyway. Let's see if we can find the end here. Okay, I'm going to go from this end because it's the end to end instead of the beginning end, and it's a little bit easier to. Okay, now that I'm going to just pull off 4 of these. Of course, it's what happens when you just pull out of the center of the of the skein and you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, let's get it untangled here. All right, let's just do this. We're going to start right here. We're going to go there's some more little bits. Okay, and then down here, now we've got 4 pieces. That's what we're going to use. Okay, I need to see if I've got a needle now that will fit in. That is kind of important, and this is kind of big yarn, so it needs to be a big needle. I mean a needle with a big head. This one, that one should work. And I think I'm going to still need a needle threader. Let's take this one. Come on. All right. There's that. And now we need to, so what did I just throw on the floor? I don't know. A needle, probably. Okay, find it later. Find it later. I always like to start with the back signature and work my way forward. But I think I want this one in the front. So let's start with this one. Okay. We're going to try to center it in the book. And then we're going to mark the holes. All right. scoot this middle one up just a little bit. Come on. Okay, now I got to remember which side's the top because I neglected to mark that. All right, I think it was like this. So I'm going to put a little dot right there to remind me that's the top. Okay. Just to make this easier, I'm going to go ahead and poke these holes with my Big Bite. I don't usually do that. Usually I poke them with an awl, but this is sitting here and the awl is not, so. And I'm going to go ahead and tie them from the inside. So we're going to start in the center and come okay. I made this way too long string, so kind of wasting thread here. Not necessarily something I really... Oh, you know, I'm going to change my mind because I'm going to leave this. I was thinking I was going to cover that up, but I'm not. I'm not. So we're going to start from the outside and we're going to start from the top because that way I can hang beads on it if I want to. Okay. See? At least I thought of it before I finished. I knew there was a reason I made those long, but I didn't remember what it was. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and snug it up. Let's go ahead and make that a little bit longer. We have plenty of yarn to do it. Okay, and I'm going to trim this one to be pretty much the same length as that one. There are always places I can use little scraps of yarn, so I'm not going to fret about it. Okay, so there's one signature. I'm going to go ahead and put the other three in, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, here it is. Lots of yummy goodness that I can write stuff and put samples. I decided I was going to put a pocket in the book, and I changed my mind. Those things take up a lot of space. All I have are the plastic ones. I wish I had the paper ones, but I don't have any paper ones. And I'm not spending money on stuff that I already have right now. So I'm just going to use the plastic ones because I'm being good. I'm being a good girl. But they are fatter than the paper ones. So anyway, I decided not to put a pocket in it because it's already kind of fat. And by the time I get those all on the paper, it'll be even fatter. But I'm just going to keep this little deal in my spinning, my bag where I keep my spinning wheel and everything. So here's thing number 9, and I'm very pleased with it. I think the next thing I'm going to do is another journal that I'm going to make to keep Hannah's. She started learning how to draw botanicals, and she's drawing from real plants. So she's decided she wanted to dry the flowers that she draws, some of them, and leaves. And then she just decided to start doing that. So she put some of them in a book to dry. Then she thought, well, what am I going to do with these once I get them dried? It's a cool idea, but I'm never going to do anything with them. And then she thought, oh, Mom might want to make a journal. So I'm going to make a journal. I'm going to make a journal to put her dried flowers in. And I may put some copies of sketches shrunk down in the journal with the flowers. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I think that's going to be the next journal that I make. It'll be a little bit bigger book than this, so that I can, put some big flowers or leaves, or so I can put some of her drawings, copies of some of her drawings in there. She is trying to keep that sketchbook whole and not take out the things she doesn't like, which I'm proud of her for, because that's hard for her. If she doesn't like it, she usually gets rid of it. So anyway, that's going to be the next thing I probably do, or at least the next journal I make. We'll see if that's next or if I do some other things first. But thanks for watching. God bless you, and you have a great day. Bye-bye.